The Innovators Network.
Welcome to the Killer Innovation Show, the longest continuously produced podcast in history. Each week, Phil McKinney brings you the insights and strategies to amplify your creativity and innovation skills. Here's your host, Phil McKinney. This episode is sponsored by Zoom. With Zoom, you can streamline your communication, collaboration, and creativity all in one place. Zoom is the market-leading platform that provides video meetings, voice, webinars, and chat across desktops, phones, tablets, and conference room systems. To learn more about Zoom and sign up for your free account, visit killerinnovations.com/Zoom.
Welcome to a new episode of the Killer Innovations Podcast, where we explore groundbreaking ideas and the strategies that bring them to life. Today, we're delving into the fascinating world of marginal gains, a philosophy that emphasizes the power of small, incremental improvements in achieving big results. It's a strategy used by elite athletes, forward-thinking businesses, and even successful marketers across the globe. But does it really work? And how can you apply this to your innovation efforts? We'll also confront the criticisms and the potential pitfalls of this approach. In this episode, we'll offer a balanced perspective on the philosophy of marginal gains. So whether you're an entrepreneur, an innovator, or someone simply curious about the strategies for success, stay tuned. And join us in this riveting exploration of the delicate interplay between incremental progress and grand, sweeping innovation. But before we jump into this week's episode, I have that favor to ask: follow, like, and share. Follow us on social media, like this episode, and share it with others. Help us spread the word. If you are not receiving the free newsletter, visit my blog at philmckinney.com and click on membership. That is how you can show your support while also getting access to unique content. The newsletter includes not only the latest blog posts and the episodes of this podcast, but also the latest episodes of the other podcasts and writings from leading innovators hosted over at the Innovators Network. Check it out. But let's jump in to this week's episode. For years, the British cycling team was known for their spectacular failure, not winning a single Tour de France for over a century. Then came Dave Brailsford in 2003, who introduced the concept of marginal gains. Brailsford believed that by improving every area related to cycling by just 1%, the cumulative gains would lead to significant overall improvement. He focused on a broad range of elements, from the nutrition of the riders down to even the type of pillow that suited each rider for a best night's sleep. The result? British cycling saw a remarkable transformation, winning 8 gold medals in 2008 Olympics and 9 gold medals at the 2012 Olympics. And in 2012, the British cycling team won the Tour de France, and they dominated the sport for the next decade, proving the power of marginal gains. This concept has since been applied to various fields, from personal development to business strategies. The 1% factor has proven to be a game changer. It's not about making radical changes or massive improvements. It's about making small, consistent, and constant gains that ultimately lead to monumental results. The theory of marginal gains dates back to the 1960s, when Peter Drucker, the renowned management consultant, introduced the concept of continuous improvement over time to achieve significant overall improvements. By focusing on small improvements in every aspect of our process or system, the cumulative impact will eventually lead to substantial gains. In the world of consulting, the power of marginal gains has been widely accepted, with organizations across various industries putting it into practice through programs like Six Sigma. Six Sigma, for instance, is a set of techniques and tools designed for process improvement, aiming to reduce defects to 3.4 per 1 million opportunities. It employs a data-focused approach to identify, analyze, and eliminate defects, thus optimizing business processes and enhancing performance. This is the prime example of implementing that 1% factor, resulting in substantial improvement through small, consistent gains. The 1% factor is not just limited to business and organizations. Individuals, you can also apply it to your personal lives for self-improvement. By focusing on making slight improvements in various areas of life, you can achieve significant progress over time. For example, in pursuing physical fitness, instead of setting some lofty goals and making drastic changes that may lead to burnout, focus on small daily improvements. This could be as simple as committing to a 1% increase in the steps taken per day, or incorporating one additional healthy meal into their diet each week. These small improvements, when consistent, will ultimately lead to significant physical fitness improvement. In the terms of personal finance, instead of saving a large sum at once, you can focus on making small adjustments in your spending habits and increasing your savings by 1% every month. Over time, these marginal gains will add up and considerably impact your financial well-being. Now, when applied to innovation, the concept of marginal gains emphasizes the remarkable impact that incremental improvements can have. Rather than seeking radical, groundbreaking innovations, it promotes the idea of constant, iterative improvements to existing systems, processes, or products. Each small enhancement may seem trivial when viewed in isolation. However, the cumulative effect of these marginal gains can lead to sustainable advancements over time. Consider the case of software development, where continuous iteration and frequent updates are common practice. Each update might only bring a minor fix or a feature improvement, but significantly enhance the overall experience in software functionality. The same principle is in manufacturing, where marginal improvements in production processes can lead to higher efficiency, better product quality, and increased profitability. Many innovators look down on incremental innovation. However, these seemingly small improvements can lead to monumental breakthroughs. The power of marginal gains challenges the belief that innovation must be disruptive and revolutionary. Now, how do you apply marginal gains to how you innovate? Many organizations struggle to even start or grow their ability to innovate. By applying the concept of marginal gains to how you innovate, you can break down the process into smaller, achievable steps. This approach eliminates the pressure of seeking a radical launch or improving in the ability to innovate, and enables organizations to continuously improve their innovation goals. One way to implement 1% innovation is through regular idea generation sessions on improving an organization's innovation ability. Treat your innovation process just like any other process inside your organization. You'll eventually create an efficient and effective innovation engine by continuously developing and refining the process. So, how do you implement these marginal gains with your innovation? How do you make it real? So, to successfully implement this concept, gains as part of innovation progress, you can follow these detailed steps. First off, identify the opportunities for improvement. To identify these areas of opportunities to improve, it's crucial to perform a comprehensive analysis of your existing innovation processes. Begin by breaking down your process into its individual elements and examining each one. Look for inefficiencies or aspects that could be enhanced. however minor they seem. Utilize tools such as flowcharts or process maps to visualize your operations, making pinpoint improvement areas easier. Remember, the goal is not to seek out massive sweeping changes, but to identify small, incremental improvements that, when compiled, can lead to significant gains. Next, set clear objectives. When setting your objectives, ensure they are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. The acronym we all know and love, make it a SMART objective. For instance, if you aim to improve your innovation pipeline, your objective is to, let's say, quote, increase the number of ideas by 1% over the next month. This objective is specific, such as improving the number of ideas. It's measurable. You're going to want to do it by 1%. It's achievable through various improvements like better ideation processes or improved idea management systems. And it's relevant, improving the innovation funnel, and it's time-bound to be achieved in the next month. Be sure to communicate these objectives clearly to your team so everyone understands their role in the collective pursuit of these marginal gains. Also, establish a system for tracking progress towards these objectives. This might involve regular check-ins or project management tools to monitor tasks and deadlines. Next is develop an action plan. Once your objectives are set, creating an action plan, providing a step-by-step roadmap for achieving these goals in the time identified. This plan should clearly outline the steps needed to assign responsibilities to individuals or teams for each task. First off, you got to define the task. Break down each objective into smaller, manageable tasks. Each task should be straightforward, simple, this for enabling the team members to understand what you expect of them. 2. Assign responsibilities. Each task should have a designated person or team responsible for innovating a marginal gain. This ensures accountability and ownership of the tasks. 3. Set the deadline. Every task should have a clear time frame for completion. This will create a sense of urgency and keep the team on track. Now, be realistic. While setting these deadlines, keeping in mind the complexity and the scope of the task. 4. Identify the resources. Determine what resources will be needed to complete each task, whether it's manpower, technology, equipment, or financial resources. 5. Monitor and adjust. Establish a system for tracking progress on these tasks. Regularly review the plan's implementation, adjusting tasks or timelines as needed based on the progress made. This will ensure the plan remains flexible and adaptable to any changes or challenges. Now remember, the aim here is to make small, consistent improvements. Don't be disheartened if progress seems slow initially. With time and consistent effort, these small changes will accumulate, leading to significant advancements. Implementing marginal gains as part of your innovation program can improve efficiency, increase your innovation impact, and ultimately have a more successful business. Next up is gathering data. Data collection is vital to implementing marginal gains in an innovation program. It provides an evidence-based approach to determine where incremental improvements can be made and offers insights into the effectiveness of these changes. Now, to gather data, there's some things you just need to do. First off, start collecting baseline data. Before you want to implement any changes, get that baseline. It is crucial. This data will provide a snapshot of your current innovation efforts against which you can compare future performance. This includes measures like innovation pipeline, or the funding of innovation experiments, depending on the area identified for improvement. 2. Data collection. Use various methods to collect rich, multifaceted understanding of your innovation operations. This could include surveys, interviews, observations, budget information, project tasking, however you manage your tasks within your innovation efforts. And then utilize digital tools and analytic software to automate and streamline the data collection process. But you need the data. Next up, you need post-implementation data. So after you've implemented the change, you need to continue collecting the data. This will allow you to track progress, measure the improvement's impact, and assess whether objectives are being met. And then data analysis. Analyze the data collected pre and post implementation to identify trends, measure the effects, and guide future improvements. It's important to be patient and persistent during this stage, as the benefits of marginal gains often take time to materialize. 5. Feedback loops. Establish feedback loops to ensure insights from the data with your team. This encourages continuous improvement and keeps everyone engaged in the process. Remember, this is going to sound like a broken record. The goal is not to seek out massive sweeping changes, but be satisfied with small incremental improvements that, when stacked up, lead to these significant gains. And consistent data collection analysis will be that compass that guides you towards achieving this 1% gain. Now, when you have all that done, you have to monitor and review the outcomes. You need to be able to do postmortems. You've been doing it for individual tasks. You got to look at it in a broader context. It's a crucial step in the innovation program. This ensures that the innovation objectives are met and it guides future decision making. So you got to do progress tracking, or use your established system to track progress towards your objectives. You've been doing your tasks, but roll it up. Are you achieving the objectives? Now, again, this can include project management tools or performance dashboards that provide near real-time insights into the status of the tasks, and are you making your progress? Outcome evaluation. Compare the outcomes with the objectives. Are you achieving the objective? Evaluate whether a 1% improvements have led to desired outcomes, such as an improved innovation pipeline, increased idea quality, or more innovation experiments. 3, data-driven. Keep using the data. Use the data collected on the tasks. Roll it up to measure the objectives and see how that's going. And conduct comprehensive review of the program. Analyze those trends, look at the patterns, and look at the impact of these marginal improvements. And then again, identify areas of further enhancement. And then get that feedback. Collect it from the teams on the individual tasks, from your stakeholders. This can shed light on any challenges encountered, provide insight into the program's effectiveness, and suggest ways to improve future iterations. And then, like everything, adjust and refine. Based on the review, make necessary modifications to the innovation program. This could mean adjusting objectives, redefining tasks, or even reshaping the entire approach if required. Refining your strategy based on tangible evidence and feedback ensures continuous improvement and long-term success. And remember, monitoring and viewing is not a one-time process, but a continuous cycle. This iterative process of fine-tuning improvements embodies the philosophy of marginal gains. The key to achieving these monumental results with a 1% factor is consistency. Making small daily gains may seem insignificant, but over time they add up and they lead to significant progress. One must be patient and persistent in pursuing marginal gains, knowing that each small improvement contributes towards a larger goal. In addition, consistency is essential to maintaining these improvements. It's not enough to make small gains quickly and revert to old habits. The 1% factor should become a way of life, continuously seeking ways to improve and to grow. So, what are some examples? It's been around and been applied to various fields, and it has yielded significant results. One example is the implementation of lean principles in manufacturing. Companies have reduced waste, increased productivity, and improved quality by identifying and making small improvements to various areas, such as inventory management, production processes, and workflow. Let's talk about Toyota. In the 1950s, Toyota introduced the Toyota Production System, or TPS. It's a pioneering application of lean principles and marginal gains that has transformed the automobile industry. At the heart of this system was the Kaizen philosophy, which emphasizes continuous incremental improvement. Every aspect of the production process was meticulously scrutinized for potential improvement, even if the benefit seemed minor. One significant improvement was introducing just-in-time production system. This system focused on producing only what was needed, when it was needed, and in the quantity needed, resulted in significant reductions in waste, streamlined production, and improved efficiency. Each small adjustment may have appeared insignificant in isolation, but when combined, they resulted in substantial overall gains in productivity and quality. Furthermore, Toyota empowered its employees to participate in this marginal improvement process. Workers were encouraged to pause the production line if they identified a problem or a potential efficiency improvement. This approach increased operational efficiency and fostered a culture of continuous improvement, underscoring the belief that everyone at every level of an organization can contribute to the marginal gains philosophy. Through these seemingly minor modifications, Toyota significantly shortened production times, decreased cost, and improved quality, setting a new standard in automobile manufacturing. Their commitment to the philosophy of marginal gains is a testament to the power of small, continual improvements and a significant factor behind their rise to global prominence. But it's not just about manufacturing. Let's talk about the digital advertising. This is where data-driven decisions and iterative improvements have revolutionized the campaign success. By leveraging the power of analytics, advertisers can break down their strategies into several components and apply the marginal gains philosophy to each, thereby incrementally improving overall performance. For instance, let's take the aspect of ad targeting. Marketers can observe noticeable improvements in engagement rates by making small adjustments, such as honing in on a more specific demographic or adjusting the time of day when the ad is displayed. Similarly, tiny modifications to the ad copy, like changing the call to action or tweaking the headline, can significantly increase click-through rates. Programmatic advertising, another burgeoning field, employs marginal gains to optimize ad buying in real time. This approach allows marketers to make small improvements based on real-time data, leading to more cost-effective allocation of ad budgets. These seemingly minor enhancements, when implemented together, can result in exponential increase in overall campaign success, illustrating the power of applying marginal gains. This constant experimentation and optimization method, driven by marginal gains, can determine a campaign's success or failure. Now, while the concept of marginal gains has been celebrated in many sectors for its potential to bring about significant overall improvements, it is not without its critics. Here are some of the common criticisms against the philosophy of marginal gains. 1. Lack of focus on major improvements. Critics argue that focusing on small incremental changes often diverts attention from larger, more impactful improvements. By focusing on minutiae, organizations might miss out on making significant leaps in innovation and instead find themselves stuck in a cycle of small, often insignificant changes. 2. Time and resources. Identifying and implementing marginal gains can be time and resource intensive. It requires careful scrutiny of all processes through data collection and analysis. These efforts might not always deliver proportional returns, making it an inefficient strategy in some critics' eyes. 3. Overemphasis on optimization. Critics also point out that hyperfocus on marginal gains can lead to an overemphasis on optimization at the expense of creativity and risk-taking. This could stifle innovation and limit the potential for major breakthroughs. 4. Dependency on perfect conditions. The strategy of marginal gains can be highly dependent on the perfect alignment of conditions, which may not always be possible, particularly in volatile or unpredictable business environments. Critics argue that the philosophy works best in controlled environments like manufacturing or sports, where stable, repeatable processes exist. And 5. Unpredictable results. Critics highlight that seemingly minor changes made in pursuit of marginal gains can sometimes have unpredictable, unintended consequences that could actually negatively impact other parts of the system and process. So, when talking about marginal gains, undoubtedly provide incremental improvements and drive continual progress, balancing the approach with a broader vision that encourages significant innovation, allows for risk-taking, and accommodates larger system-level improvements, and this is critical. So, in conclusion, the philosophy of marginal gains can significantly contribute to innovation, highlighting the compounding power of seemingly insignificant ideas. However, it's crucial to acknowledge the pitfalls of marginal gains. Critics warn of that risk of losing sight of larger transformative improvements, the potential stifling of creativity and risk-taking, and the unpredictable consequences of minor changes. They argue this philosophy could become resource-intensive, and it doesn't always yield proportional returns, especially outside of controlled environments. So balancing the philosophy of marginal gains with an overarching vision for innovation is the key. Organizations should strive for a blend of marginal improvements and significant leaps in innovation. This requires fostering an environment that rewards small enhancements and bold, creative ideas, ensuring neither is undervalued. If employed judiciously, the philosophy of marginal gains is valuable in the innovation toolkit, driving constant refinement and progress. However, it should never be the sole strategy, but coexist with other approaches championing significant, transformative change. In this light, the philosophy of marginal gains provides a valuable insight. Innovation isn't always about spectacular breakthroughs, but often about the relentless pursuit of better, regardless of how small the improvements might be. As we wind down another episode of the Killer Innovations Podcast, I wanted to extend a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you who join us in exploring the intriguing philosophy of marginal gains and the broader topic of just innovation. Your continued support and engagement keeps this podcast alive, and we are profoundly grateful for your time and attention. We're always striving to bring you the most insightful, stimulating content, and we hope that today's discussion has shed light on the potential power of incremental improvements and the need for a balanced approach to innovation. If today's episode resonated with you or sparked new ideas, we would like your help in spreading the word about the show. Your recommendation can make a huge difference. Consider sharing this episode with your colleagues, your friends, or anyone who might appreciate this deep dive into innovation strategies. You can also help us reach more listeners by leaving us a review over at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Your feedback not only helps us improve, but it also helps other innovators, entrepreneurs, and curiosity seekers to discover our show. Don't forget to follow us and hit the like button if you found the content valuable. And by doing so, you won't miss out on future episodes where we'll delve deeper into tools, techniques, and philosophies to fuel your innovation journey. Lastly, if you're not receiving our free newsletter, head on over to my blog, philmckinney.com, and click on membership. Not only will you get the latest blog posts and podcast episodes, but you'll get access to exclusive content from leading innovators on the Innovators Network. And once again, thank you for being part of the Killer Innovations community. Your presence truly enriches our discussions, and we can't wait to continue this journey of learning and growth with you. And until next time, stay innovative, stay curious, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Podcasting nonstop since 2005, this has been the Killer Innovation Show on the Innovators Network.
This show is distributed by the Innovators Network. For more information and other great shows and content, visit theinnovators.network.